Everyone right now is telling you AI, automations, Claude work, open Claude, ChatGPT, Manus, agents, all of that stuff is going to save your business. But here's what nobody's telling you. AI is becoming the biggest shiny object in the entrepreneur space right here, right now. And if you're at 20, 30, 40, 50, even 100K a month right now and you're not breaking through, AI is not the problem. You are the problem. And by the end of this video, I'm going to show you the 3 things that you actually need to break through, and none of them involve a new AI tool. And the last thing is something that nobody wants to hear, but if you can be brave enough to stick around to the end of the video, you're gonna have a complete breakthrough. Because here's what I've noticed coaching over 250 entrepreneurs in the last 4 years. The ones who scale aren't the ones with the best tools. They're the ones who stopped getting in their own way. So if you're new here, welcome. I'm Luke, the anti-self-sabotage coach for scaling entrepreneurs. All I do here is help scaling entrepreneurs stop being their own bottleneck and getting in their own way. So if you've been watching for a while, welcome back. You know what time it is. If you're new here, welcome here. Make sure you subscribe and you have liked so that you see more of this content so that you can actually move forwards rather than get caught up in shiny object syndrome. So right now, if you're in the entrepreneur space, especially if you're in coaching, agency, consulting, SaaS, anything service-based, everyone and their mum is telling you that you need AI. You need to automate your outreach with AI. You need an AI chatbot. You need to start using Claude work. You need to start using Manus. Oh, have you tried Grok? Have you tried ChatGPT? Have you tried Memories AI? Have you tried Perplexity? Have you tried this? Have you tried that? Listen, some of these tools are genuinely really helpful, really incredible. I use AI in my business. I'm not here to completely bash what we're doing. As you can tell, I've got literally Claude working in the background right now on another project as I'm working on this with you. But what I am here to tell you is that 90% of you watching this, AI is not going to be the thing that's going to move the needle for you. It's becoming the new version of what I talked about in my last video. So look at this. In 2024, the same business coaching people, the same people in the space, agencies, marketers, whatever, were telling you, oh, you need a VSL. Oh, you need setters and closers. You need a follower ad funnel. You need ManyChat. You need cold calling. You need email marketing. You need to do launch 50 offers. You need a website. You need more content. You need desire marketing. You need a school community. Like, how many of you guys have got school communities or are in one right now because of a guru that told you that that was the thing that you needed? Even though Facebook groups have been around since like 2013. Like, you need webinar funnels. But now it's literally like, oh, you need an AI generated VSL. You need an AI chatbot qualifying leads. You need AI powered ad targeting. You need an AI agent in your DMs. You need AI voice agents that make calling for you. You need AI writing your email sequence. AI to split test 50 offers for you. Like, you get the point, right? You see the pattern? It's basically the exact same list put into a different format with AI tagged onto it. It's literally the same exact thing, but this year it's just, you need this AI tool and you're doing the exact same thing that you did before and jumping from one thing to the next, one thing from the next, and hoping that this next tool is the one thing that finally makes it clicks. Once this is fixed, then everything will be good. And I get it, because AI genuinely looks like the answer. It writes your content, it handles your emails, it builds your systems. But here's the question nobody's asking. If you can't even sit down and do some of these things without AI, what makes you think that AI is going to fix that? If you can't prioritize the 3 things that actually matter in your business this week, adding an AI workflow or adding an AI built system is not going to help you. It's just going to give you a more sophisticated way to procrastinate, and then you're still looking at the month saying, we've done so much, but why is cash flow at the same point? Or why are we not growing? You're not lacking tools, you're lacking follow through, and no AI on the planet is going to follow through for you. Your brain is effectively a funnel. If it's not being funneled into the right things at the right time, you're going to be overwhelmed, unfocused, stuck, sitting down at your desk being like, wait, what was I meant to be doing again? Like starting days without having a plan, like not knowing what to do, feeling lost and empty at times. And I get it, because, you know, at the moment right now, we've got ChatGPT, we've got AI agents, ManyChat, Claude, all of these different things flying around your head with shiny object syndrome. But what most of you actually need is this filter. Now I'm going to show you the rest of this map a little bit later, But we need this filtering process to actually help you move forward. That's what separates the entrepreneurs who scale from the ones who just end up collecting tools, collecting programs, courses, books, etc. I'm going to break down the rest of this in full detail for you later, but first I need to genuinely show you something, because I already know which one of these 4 people that you are right now. So, person number 1 here that you might be watching this video is you have strategy behind you and you're not even using AI whatsoever. You're just completely fucked. You're just completely raw dogging it. You're thinking, oh, this AI phase is gonna pass. This stuff doesn't work. Like, this is just like NFTs or crypto. I'm not gonna hop on it. If you're in that boat, you're fucked. Like, have a word. I'm glad you're here. Person number 2 is you're maybe using ChatGPT. You're asking ChatGPT, what should I do in the morning? You're asking Chat, how should I approach this relationship? Maybe you have a strategy behind you, but you're using AI to avoid actually doing it. So you already know what you need to do. You've got the offer, you've got the strategy from your coach, whatever that is. But instead of getting the DMs sent, you're spending 3 hours setting up an AI automation to send DMs for you. And then you're giving, or instead of filming a video, you're watching tutorials on how AI can create content for you. Instead of getting on sales calls, you're booking an AI chatbot to qualify the leads. And here's the crazy thing. You haven't even got the manual version working, which is you on this. You're trying to automate something before you've ever consistently done this by hand. An old mentor of mine told me the worst thing that you can do is delegate something when you don't know how to do it yourself, because you don't know whether it's actually doing a good job or not. You don't have the right feedback loops in place. Person 2 that you might be doing is you might be doing a blend of these different things. You might be doing Claude, Grok, Manus, ChatGPT. You're doing the work, but you're using AI as a crutch. So you're actually executing, you're actually doing outreach, you're actually connecting to your team, you're actually on calls, but instead of optimizing your human skills, your sales ability, your follow-up, your positioning, your messaging, you're leaning on AI to do the thinking for you. So I was talking to someone the other day that was booking calls and she was closing at around 25%, and her coach told her to use AI to write better sales scripts. Like, oh my God, get fucked. First of all, like, if I was your coach doing this thing, I wouldn't have got you to go and write the AI. I would have personally done the AI stuff for you, given the script, and then gone and edited it with my brain so you know what it looks like, and then given it to you. So first of all, it's like letting you as a person like just go and raw dog it yourself. Fucking dumb. Like, AI can't read the room. AI is not going to feel when someone's guard is up. AI can't build genuine human connection on a sales call. So your ability to connect on what closes deals is going to be. And I'm just like, it's just so dumb. Like, anywho, person number 3, using a blend of these things. And this can be dangerous because you might start getting traction, things are working, cash is flowing, and then you see something else, a new skill, a new productivity system, or like a new automation here, and you go and start running into doing that thing when actually you should just be double downing on what is already working for you right now, so you don't feel safe in momentum. And this is why we created something, the FIRE framework is actually the root cause that I created for every single self-sabotaging pattern that you have. We have F, which is false identity. You don't believe you're the person that you should be, or you're not there yet, or like you're just not acting naturally as the CEO right now. This can look like procrastinating on things, or having a load of self-doubt or anxiety at the start of the day, or not knowing what your actual bottleneck is right now. Invisible rules, we've got limiting beliefs like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, I don't like sales, I'm not a good leader, I'm not enough, whatever that is. R is resistance to expansion. So this usually happens when you're getting into momentum, you're doing things that are working right now, but you don't feel safe in momentum, you don't trust yourself to follow through, you can't hold your levels of success, and so you resist expansion. And E is excessive control, kind of like micromanaging, that type of stuff. And the reason why I know all of this is because I've done 150 market research calls with a lot of you. It's what I did coming out of my last business partnership. I did over 150 market research calls. And so I know this from data that this is you guys as well. And how this can typically look is you might have a word track that creates a cognitive distortion that creates your reality. So I know that you're one of these type of people because of this 3-step process. So you might say right now, I just need to find the right AI and then it will take off. That is generalizing. You've effectively said this about the last 5 tools, but the tool has never been the problem. You might say, if I don't get this AI system set up perfectly, everything will fall apart. That is catastrophizing. Nothing will fall apart. Your business survived before this tool existed. Either I automate everything with AI or I'm going to burn out. All or nothing thinking. There is a middle ground. Automate what's proven, do the rest yourself. I'm not tech savvy enough, so I'll never be able to compete. Negative filtering. So you don't need to compete on tech, you need to compete on connection. Everyone else is using AI and getting ahead, I'm falling behind. Generalizing and catastrophizing. 90% of people using AI aren't making more money than you, they are just procrastinating faster. This new AI thing is the missing piece. Once I learn it, everything clicks. Magical thinking. You said this about the VSL, you said this about a webinar, you said this about ManyChat, you said this about the new team member. Whatever that is, it's the same pattern. I tried outreach before and it didn't work, so it'll never work. All or nothing and negative filtering. If it didn't work that time with those skills, you have grown since then. So we need to do things differently. I should be further along by now. What's wrong with me? Negative self-talk. Nothing's wrong with you. You just don't have the right support structure yet. I can't afford coaching right now. I need to invest in tools instead. Black and white thinking. You're spending more time on tools rather than just using your time to get the means that you need to get a coach who could optimize all of the actions that you're doing anyway, so you're not wasting your precious fucking time on shit that isn't working. My situation's different, so it won't work for me. Again, like, I've helped over 300 people up to this point. I put 250 here, but I was reflecting when I was making this video, I was like, actually it's closer towards the 300 mark. But everyone thought that they were the exception. The patterns are genuinely the same. And if I just hustle harder and add AI, I'll break through. You've been hustling, it got you here, it's not gonna get you there. The game changes. So there's a lot of this difference, like what you say versus what the actual distortions are versus what's actually true. So this is why I know which version of you are. And if you're somebody watching this video and you want to get access to a one-to-one opportunity with me, I am actually still running market research because I genuinely love all the different thought patterns, things that are getting in the way for people. But in exchange for the market research, I will give you access to a custom Neuro-Psycho visualization hypnosis that you will be able to take away for yourself and use every single morning. I can't tell you how insanely valuable this is. This has changed. Like, I have one entrepreneur I'm working with right now. We did a hypnosis track for her and she went from 40K a month to now she's now in a position where she's about to get a £10 million investment into her 120K a month plus business. So it's like that jump happened in 6 months. Like, so if you want access to that, like, all you got to do is just go to my market research call link. I will drop it down below for you. Also, if you don't want the Neuro-Psycho visualization and you want the 2 Facebook posts that generated $90,000 in 2 days in my last business partnership, then all you got to do is book in. Again, it's just going to be like a quick 15 minutes. I'm just going to ask you some questions on where you're at, what you're working on, the typical thought patterns that come up for you. I'm really just trying to pattern analyze what's going on. I love this shit. So all you got to do is book in. So what are the things that you actually need to learn right now? Well, it's very simple. Here's the words: focus and prioritize. We're just going to put prior for now. It's just faster. Focus and prioritize. That's all you need to do right now. But when you're focused and you're prioritized, you know what you're doing every single day. You're not wondering whether you should be setting up an AI workflow yourself or sending DMs. You're not second guessing whether you need a tool. You just genuinely know. You know that your business is going to thrive because you are in the driving seat. You are the confident one. You're the person that makes the best decisions at the best time, and you can move past any shame and guilt of wasting time with things that aren't actually aligned with you. And right now it's 5 p.m. in the afternoon for me. I'm filming this video and I'm completing because I already know that all my other systems are running. I'm not thinking about my AI automations. I'm not thinking about ChatGPT. I'm not thinking about what skills do I need from Claude co-work or what do I need to add to my Claude bot. I'm thinking about serving you and creating value. But when you can't focus and prioritize, every new AI tool feels like it might be the missing piece. And you end up spending your week learning prompts and this. Like, I'll show you this. One of the things that I realized when I actually got my focus in the right place and built this vision board that you can see right now was that the business I was operating in I was miserable. I was isolating. I was actually self-sabotaging more. But when I put my focus onto relationships and my health and Muay Thai and living in a place where I actually wanted to be and feeling good, dressing good, like actually just genuinely feeling great about myself, all of that changed. Like my fitness has been there. I literally live in my dream body, I have done for like the last, when I focus my journey on faith, when I focus my journey on my relationship, like I actually like started having what I want. I started having fun. Like I stopped just being like an unaligned version of myself, and I just did the things that I genuinely wanted to do all the time. And that's because your time should look like this. Before, what I was doing was 30% of the time I was doing high value work, and then 70% of the time I was doing repeatable tasks. Things that I was stuck doing $5 an hour tasks with a $500 an hour skill set. Whereas when you have structure, delegation, you know exactly what to focus on and what to prioritize, your repeatable or delegatable work should be about 10%, and 90% of your energy should be high value work. And that's going to create the structure and delegation that's going to open up your freedom. AI can help you build this structure, but you need to learn what to identify first. And this was the exact same with Mitch, one of my clients. Like before we started working together, he was like, I don't need a coach, I already know what to do. And now he's in $1 million a month version of himself. And that's because before we started working together, he was actually in a previous business partnership, and he thought he knew what was going on. He thought he was like in a good place. They were at $250K a month. But then the business partnership fucked him because he didn't know what to prioritize. He hadn't tackled one of the most important parts of the business, which is the legalization structure of it. And he'd been screwed and completely broke his trust. And he was stressed again that like, if he put his energy and efforts into building the business again, like he was going to have the very same situation happen. But we fixed that. First month went from $44,000 to $110,000. Actually, in 28 days he did that, so not even a full month. And then he was at $256K a month. After saying he was at $110K a month, so he went from $44K a month to $256,000 a month in what? 6 weeks, 7 weeks? And then after that went on to doing $320,000 a month. And that's because he went and got help with the focus and the prioritization of where his goals are, business, what he wanted his business vision, what he wanted his vision to look like. And that's why we see with the American Society of Training and Development, when you have step one, you have a goal, your likelihood of success is about 10%. When you consciously decide to do it, then your likelihood of success is about 25%. When you set a deadline and timeline, about 40%. When you make a plan, 40%. When you commit to somebody else, a friend, a partner, 65%. But when you have consistent check-ins with somebody that knows what they are doing, knows how to get you on the straight and narrow, knows how to prioritize you, not AI, what should I be doing right now? AI, is this the best thing? Like, it's going to adjust based on your personal bias. So if you're emotional one day, you might say, oh, actually, no, I don't want to do this thing. I want to do this first. Or I'm not going to do this. I'm going to build this system. Or, hey, build this system for me. And it's just going to override the whole system. Whereas when you have somebody in your corner that fights for you, knows what to do, and knows how to hold you accountable, and has 95% more likely to achieve your goals. And can you imagine that? Like, how much would you have achieved in the last 12 months if you had consistent check-ins? Not an AI bot, but with a genuine human that knows your patterns, calls you out, holds the line. There's no solid AI tools that provide step 5 or step 6. None of them. That is a human thing. Now, can AI help you with building SOPs and structures? Absolutely. I use Claude to help me document my process. I use ChatGPT. I have 4 custom built GPTs that help my clients process things through my frameworks, thought processes, belief frameworks, system building, all of that stuff. Even if there's somebody that's been like, oh, systems don't work for me. But at the same time, the third piece of this, after focus and prioritizing, after getting somebody in your corner to consistently check in with you, the third piece of this, and this is the piece that a lot of people don't really like to hear, is the people that separate is emotional regulation. A lot of business coaches and now a lot of AI gurus are just going to tell you that the emotions don't matter, and just to systemize everything, just to automate everything, remove the human element. And I get why that might be tempting, because emotions can be a little bit messy. They're uncomfortable. They don't necessarily fit into a spreadsheet. But here's what happens when you don't emotionally regulate. You feel fear and suddenly you're like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I want to give up. I need a break. This isn't working. You feel shame about not hitting your targets and you shut down. You avoid your dashboard. You stop checking your numbers. You avoid the team. You feel guilt about not being productive. And so you go into overdrive, burn yourself out, and then you crash. You feel anxiety before a sales conversation or a big team member. And those actions then feed into your reality, and you procrastinate and you don't show up as the best version of yourself. If we look at this as David R. Hawkins' map of consciousness, we can see here that the bottom paradigm, this is when you go limbic. This is when you go into the limbic part of your brain, the survival paradigms. When you go into pride, anger, desire, fear, grief, apathy, guilt, shame, all of these things. But in order to grow, to be in your spiritual alignment, your best version of yourself, we need to step into courage. We need to say, hey, you know what? I got to face reality. Like, all this AI noise is actually not moving me forward. My revenue hasn't. And that's the breakthrough line. And this is the vulnerable piece for you. Like, I'm going to show you something that AI would never have uncovered with you because I think it matters. I wasn't allowed to process anger as a child. And I was told consistently, like, wipe off that look off your face anytime that I felt emotions. And I've forgiven that. But the pattern for me for that stayed for fucking years. I would stonewall. I would procrastinate. Anytime I felt anger, I would people please. I would not be the best version of myself. And people pleasing is the worst thing to do because you end up stacking anger until you have a complete like emotional outburst with somebody rather than just having an intelligent communicative solution in place. But my coping mechanism also ended up being working harder, pushing through and ignoring what I was feeling. And it worked until it didn't. Until I was making money, but I was miserable. Until I had a business, but I had no relationship. Until I was successful, but anxious every single day. And I know if you have kids or you want to have kids someday, I'm sure you don't want to pass on those traits to somebody else either. You don't want them coping with the same ways of coping that you're doing right now. You want to break the cycle, but that doesn't happen if you just download another AI tool. It happens when you learn to... Like Taylor had a 7 to 8 when we started, and she's not just mum with 22-year-old with like unlimited time. She's managing motherhood. And when we started working together, like, some cash issues behind her as well, and she needed to fix that side of things. During our first 5 weeks, because we focused on these things, she 4x'd her business in the first 5 weeks. She built structure, she built systems, but she also got back into her health. She did 75 hard whilst having a 7-month-old daughter. Obviously, she wasn't 7 months old the whole time, but you get my point, right?
I was just going out on a whim, just like making it happen just from being me, which I'm grateful that I have that within me. But no structure at all. If I don't have any structure, then how can I start to like grow? And how I can create more of that. And I really have to get out of my own way. So like through working with Luke, I've been able to like get out of my own way around that and like see myself as like, especially because Luke is so wholesome. He has a very holistic approach to how we work together. It just allowed me to like bridge both of my worlds and still be like badass business. And just having the accountability has been extremely helpful with the starting and stopping, because I feel like without that accountability, then I could just get in my own way. But yeah, the accountability has been super helpful, and also everything that you've offered, like all the resources that you offer, the emotional work, like you were saying, like what are you not going to do? I feel like after that, I was on this absolutely not, no more, and like just stop all the BS because you have more than enough time and you're making excuses. Like, get to it.
So we have the shiny object syndrome, and then you have the filter. So 1, you have the focus and the prioritization for yourself. 2, you have the consistent check-ins with somebody else so that you can have that feedback loop and structure. And then 3rd, you have the emotional regulation so that you can actually become the version of yourself that you know you need to be. You bypass the FIRE framework, you bypass the limiting thoughts that pull you into the wrong direction or pull you out of doing what you need to be doing. And then you're clear, confident, executing. You know exactly what to do each day. You trust your systems. You take action without negotiating. And AI amplifies what's already working. And this is where the money is made. Because before might be, you're basically in a space where you need to fix the operator and not the tools. So no focus plus no structure plus no regulation plus AI tools is just faster chaos. Whereas focused operator is focus and prioritize, feedback loops and structure with a consistent check-ins. The emotional regulation plus AI tools is you amplify what you do and you. So if you're watching this and you realize that AI tools aren't your problem, you're the problem and you're ready to fix your operator and not add more tools, here's what I'd recommend. Path one, remember what I said earlier, you've got the Neuro-Psycho visualization. I'll do a free deep dive with you just in exchange for market research, get some data. We will learn what cognitive distortions you have, the triggers that set them off, and you'll get a personalized map of what's actually keeping you stuck, so not generic advice. Your brain, literally a 15-minute call. That's it, just book in down below. Or if you want the path two, you want the tactical side, and you want to walk through the exact strategy that made us 90K in 2 days. The same frameworks apply to your business. Again, also book in down below. Now, if you're in path three, where you're one of those people that watches YouTube videos, doesn't really do anything with it, and you just wasted 30 minutes, you're not going to do something about it, that just watching the video is the problem here. Whereas the action taking is going to change you. And this is to be a pitch, but I only do this for entrepreneurs who are at 10K a month. So if you are at 10K a month plus and you want to book in a market research call down, then that's cool. And that's because the data I need needs to be relevant for a working business, not a complete idea stage type person. I'm not here for time wasters or just complete freebies. If you've got a victim, if you think, oh, this just isn't a priority right now, but you've been struggling with priorities, like, would it build in a 15-minute can for you? So again, if you're stuck at 5 to 50K a month, you know you're your own bottleneck, and you want to eliminate the self-sabotage so you can actually scale, book in. We don't everybody who books in for a market research call, because we need to make sure that it's actually a good fit. But yeah, with that said, I hope you enjoyed this. If you haven't subscribed, make sure that you have done. Don't be caught up in those people that aren't doing that. But with that said, I'm the anti-self-sabotage coach, 7 no's to 7 figures in the last 12 months. We're going to see if we can double that this year. Not by changing their strategy, but by changing their wiring. So with that said,